Bye.
So fanfic, who's got it and who wants it? Not me. Not me. So today I planned something very special because last week as Americans we narrowly avoided descending into authoritarian chaos. So I decided that we all need a little fun, a little break, to just get a little sexy, maybe. So logically, I decided to Google opera fanfic to see what would come up. And let me tell you that the sheer volume of Fanma the Opera fanfic honestly should be illegal. The real point is there opera fanfic? Or is there at least classical music fanfic? So I did some digging. There's not a ton of opera fanfic that I could really find. There is fanfic where the characters are singing opera, but there's no like Pavarotti, Maria Callas fanfic or like the Three Tenors fanfic, because that... But there is a ton of composer fanfic that I would like to share with you guys, as well as, you know, some other fun ones that I had to read. I had to read them, and God. But before we kind of jump in, I don't know, I feel like we need to set the mood, you know. Yeah, okay. So I have this candle. Candles are romantic, right? Perfect for reading horrifying fan fiction. This is called Holiday Spruce. So let's spruce it up in here. Atmosphere. Okay, now that we have our atmosphere, see, I think maybe we should get a drink. Maybe you should get a drink. I think we should all get... Okay, so I didn't prepare... So I had old soju in my fridge. It's good, though, so. Okay, I think we're ready to embark on our fanfiction adventure. So, I'll just pull it up. I mean, I get that, like, fanfiction is on my phone, but, like, I don't know, I feel like it just kind of looks meh to just have my phone up. I still have Liszt Googled, by the way, because... Who doesn't? I don't know. Just a second. Now I think we're ready. It's like getting dark out, so the lighting's gonna change. At bright side, it'll just be like more drama. So we live for drama. Gather around, children, and today I will read to you the story of God. So our first story today is... Okay, so I'm sorry. So our first story today is called Jung und Verliebt. That's wrong. Jung und Verliebt. So this is it's like I don't know what the word is. It's like a POV, I think. Is that what they're called? Leave it in the comments, because I'm sure you want to. So this is a fanfic basically where you're the main character, but then like you can like put your name in the thing. Anyway, we'll see. So you're a woman, presumably in her like early 20s. You go to community college, and Mozart is in Missouri in 2020. So you go to school, and your friend Viola is there, or Viola, depending on how you want to say her name. I guess we're a part of the classical music gang, so I guess we gotta say Viola. So your friend Viola comes running up to you in class, and she says, your name, your name. This is the part where you put your name, so. I'll just pick one. Dave, I have exciting news. I think you'll want to hear it, she half whispered, half yelled. You do that. Yes, well then, what is it? You whispered, not wanting to be disrespectful. Yeah, I like that bitch Viola. I have tickets for tonight at the Starlight, and I want you to come with me, she said, taking your hands and squealing. You were honestly flattered that she would be so kind to you, but on the other hand, you kind of hated classical music, and you thought it was so boring, and the people who usually liked it, to you at least, seemed to be snobbish. Drew. I'm flattered, Viola, but, you said, but she cut you off mid-sentence. Your name, oh, I'm so sorry. Dave, we both know So, oh no. Dave, we both know you have nothing better going on in your life. I know you think it's boring and all, but please give it a chance, please, she said. You didn't see much of a way out of this, so you just said, yes, Viola, for you I will go. Viola smiled at that. So, end of chapter 1. Now, as we continue on in the story, even though you are, you think that classical music is snobbish and for apparently bad people, and also Viola, you're gonna go, so you get dressed and you want to look pretty. Throughout the story, this person describes you, Dave, I guess, because we're all Dave now, Dave doing their makeup in such a way that is, like, never too much or, like, over the top or flash. I don't know what my hair is doing. Sorry. So throughout this entire story, this person is always describing how you, the person, do their makeup, and there's always, like, a similar theme. You applied light foundation, some mascara. Oh, I'm so sorry. They spelled it with an E on the end, so some mascara. Mascara. You weren't a master at makeup, but you thought it made you look a little better looking. That's the goal. You brushed your hair and parted to the side. It was your favorite hairstyle and you wanted to look a little more presentable or beautiful. One or the other. I do part my hair to the side, as you can see here, and I think it makes me look either presentable or beautiful. So she goes with Viola. You feel underdressed because apparently at all times this person needs to feel rather insecure. Oh, this is the big meeting, the meet cute. Suddenly, a man came running down the hall, shouting very loudly in a language you didn't understand. He rushed through the crowd, yelling, "Sorry," in a very thick accent. As he was running, he bumped into you and looked you in the eyes for a brief second. Okay, that was my impression. Who was that, you asked, reaching your neck out? Ew. Reaching your neck out to see him disappear into a different room? That was Mozart, Alfred said. Well, that's it. Okay. Then they just keep talking about other stuff. Oh, and then you see that Mozart is conducting. Because, yeah. Okay. Next chapter. So throughout this entire story, the narrator, who is your name, and our name is Dave, Dave is, like, super insecure about the opulence and wealth that people keep showing, I guess. Like, they keep commenting on it, and it's always in kind of an odd way where you are both insecure about it but also judgmental about it. So that's a solid combination. So after the performance, you guys get to go to a reception. You went in. All of a sudden, you feel like you didn't belong there. Everyone was wealthy, and just from the way they talked and acted, it was obvious that you were the outsider. It was a little loud, probably because you were sitting down in the middle of the room with everyone around you. What? Okay, I assume that you're sitting on a chair. I hope. Because I gotta say, like, just sitting in the middle of the room on the ground, surrounded by wealthy people, would make you feel like an outsider. Probably more than whatever perceived wealth you think these people have. Man walked in and everyone went silent. Who do you think it is? Viola then took your hand and basically dragged you through the crowd till you were up front. The man was the one from before, the one who had bumped into you in the hallway. He had dark brown eyes, blonde hair that stuck out all crazily, and he was wearing a dark green suit that had silver buttons on it. He sat down at a large piano. He had a huge grin on his face and seemed a little bit crazy. Well, that's an accurate description, I think. And then he started to play. It was a song you had never heard before, but vaguely knew the melody. Okay. You leaned over and saw there was no sheet music. You figured he must have known it from memory, which impressed you. When he was finished, the whole room burst out in applause. You clapped along too, but didn't laugh or giggle like the other girls. Everyone take a drink for a "I'm not like other girls" comment. But you didn't laugh or giggle like the other girls, but instead just simply smiled at the man who had played the beautiful music. Now I present to you my reenactment of not giggling like the other girls, but just smiling at the man who made the beautiful music. Anyway, let's go on. I'm sure you guys are riveted. She gets introduced to Mr. Mozart. He does actually use some German here. I'm thrilled. So this is Mozart talking now. Hello, I see you came with Miss Viola I don't know if that's supposed to be Wutern, like a German German pronunciation, but if her name is Wuttern, that's kind of fun too. Hello, I see you came with Miss Viola Wuttern. What might your name be? He asked in a thick accent, yet in a kind tone. Your name, last name? Okay, Dave, Bob. God. Dave Bob, I'm a friend of Viola. What's your name? You asked, hoping to learn his name. Well, let me commend you, Dave Bob, on your sneaky powers of deduction to learn this guy's name by asking him his name. What? Okay. Ich bin Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Wow. Cool. Some German. Are you by any chance related to Viola? He asked, his German coming through. Oh no, I'm just a friend of hers. Were you the man conducting the beautiful music tonight by chance? You asked, blushing. Yes, that was me. Did you enjoy it? He asked, smiling. Yes, very much. It was quite beautiful, you said. Thank you, but it's been lovely to talk to you. I really must tend to my mother. By the way, you are quite a pretty lady. All right, he said, getting up and walking away. You were very surprised by what he said to you. No man had ever told you that you were beautiful, other than your father. You didn't think too deeply about it, though. You were sure he'd said that to just about every lady he met. So as the story goes on, it's revealed that Dave Bob actually has a part-time job at the Vale Mansion. I think that's how you pronounce it. Apparently, it is a real tourist attraction, according to the story. So if anyone's from Missouri, go ahead and tell me how to pronounce it in the comments. So you get ready to go and you get there. And of course, who should be there but Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. When you went into the room, everything seemed to be clean and fine. You heard the door open and you stuck your head out to see who it was. It was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. God, if I had a nickel every time I opened the door and it was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, let me tell you, that's how I know I'm in Missouri. So you feel nervous, of course, because you're like there to clean and Mozart's there and, you know, I guess we're in love with Mozart or whatever. And then you get to go wash the floors. So at the top of this chapter, they gave me a YouTube link. So our character is about to sing now. So I'll have that playing underneath. I thought it would be a Mozart song. Nope. That's too easy. Instead, we have the Nightingale song from Cinderella. You know, the part where, like, the stepsisters are, like, singing bad and then Cinderella's, like, singing good. You then started on the stairs. You're washing the floor. You then started on the stairs and went for the second floor to the main, the grand staircase. You got on your knees and started to scrub, and about halfway down, you got lost in thought and started to softly sing Nightingale from Cinderella, and then we very thoughtfully get all the lyrics. So that's cool. When you just finished the song and the staircase, you looked up. There he was standing before you, at your feet, like a judge, and you were convicted of murder. It was Mozart! Lawyers, please weigh in on the comments. What is the manner in which a judge would stand at my feet like I'm convicted of murder? Please describe. Thank you. So then he obviously tells her that she has a lovely voice, and she's like, no one's ever said I've had a lovely voice, meh, because it's a fan fiction, that's what they all do. So then he invites her to a concert the next evening, and he says, I would like to see if you would be willing to see the backstage of opera singers. The backstage of opera singers? I don't know what that means. And see if maybe you'd be willing to perform? You thought over his offer and sat down next to him again. You felt a little more at ease around him now. Finally, an answer came to you. Well, I suppose yes, but I won't be singing on the first night though, right? What? The first night of the concert? Isn't it only one night? It's a concert. I mean, like, there is a 4-day-long opera, but, like, that's not what he's saying. He says there's... Oh, okay. Wait, no, I still don't get it. Okay, I guess maybe he's just, like, in the future, not, like, that day, I guess. Okay. Well, I suppose yes, but I won't be singing on the first night, though, right? You asked. No, you wouldn't be singing on the first night there. I'm not a monster. I would just like to see and talk to the other singers. So then you're talking to your friend Viola, and she's saying how Mozart wants a wife. He's looking for a wife, Dave, and he's looking for a woman like you. He wants a woman who can cook, clean, and is also pretty. You're all of those things, she said casually. Casually. Then why doesn't he go for a woman like you? You're more qualified and better looking. What year is this? What year is this? Qualified? Everyone take the quiz. Are you qualified to be a wife for Mozart? Here are the only parameters. Leave it in the comments. You thought it would be oddly funny if an average Midwestern married a higher up German man. Yeah, it sounds hysterical. So you go to the opera house and you go find Mozart and you comment again on how rich everyone looks. It's very weird. So I guess they really want to make sure that this person feels out of place at all times, even though they're just so beautiful and like pure and qualified. So Mozart comes running up to you. Dave, I missed you so much. How are you, my dear? I swear the opera women here are quite the Hundinnen. Hundinnen. I'm pretty sure in German that means bitches. That's mean. I missed you as well, Mozart. I've been doing well. How have you been? Okay, it's been like a day. It's been like a day. He did invite her literally yesterday, but okay, I'm glad everyone's doing well after the extensive distance. So he takes you to your seat, and then he has to go run off and talk to the opera singers. As the night went on, you spoke to many opera singers, some Italian, French, German, and even a Russian one. Even a Russian one! They were all proper and composed. You bet most of them were well educated, spoke several different languages, and had seen most of Europe. They all spoke softly, but in a snobbish way. I bet they did. People who have seen most of Europe tend to suck. You wondered where Mozart was. You hoped he would be by your side for the rest of the night. You'd be very lost if he didn't stay by you. You were just talking to like 40 opera singers who were all quiet and snobbish. You apparently are doing fine. And okay, anyway. In the distance, you saw Mozart and made your way to him. When you were by him, he took your hand and said, "Follow me, dear." And that is how far we are so far in, what was the story called again? Jung und Verliebt. I like this one. I love the POV. Love the idea that Mozart is just in Missouri. No one's told me why yet. He's just there. I hope Dave Bob and Viola and Mozart continue to have a great time. Maybe as this continues to update, leave it in the comments. If you guys want to know what happens to Mozart and Dave Bob, let me know and I'll be sure to give us an update. Because it does seem that this author updates regularly, so we can check back in. Anyway, on to our next one. So I think to counter that, we should go to a deep, dark place that you'd never want to know about. And now I'm stuck there, and now you're all coming with me. This particular story I found about Berlioz and Liszt, and it actually was originally written in Chinese. So that's really great because then the internet automatically translated it to English, so it doesn't make any sense. And now I present Liszt and Berlioz doing horrifying, dirty, dirty things. Off we go. Liszt grabbed Berlioz's hand and kissed the back of his hand, then turned to face Berlioz, who was leaning on the bed with one hand resting on his shoulder as a support. Berlioz supported his waist and kissed his collarbone again. This is a conventional method. Liszt often... No! I've always wanted to try to... He leaned closer to Berlioz and said in a low voice, "I want to know if someone I can still keep me careful enough not to hurt myself. I'm very curious, second only to wondering if I can try the latter one next time. I also want to know." "I won't hurt you," Liszt says. "I'm not worried about myself, but you are a little slower. No one is in a hurry," Berlioz found. Also, I imagined enjoy countless times. How does it feel to Will I be as exhausted as Matepa tied to a galloping horse in the long poem to suspect that death is coming? I think we can all agree that was the worst thing ever, so let's close out this video with something a bit more wholesome. So I gotta say, I'm not a huge fanfiction person. I used to read it when I was younger, but I didn't know how the crazy kids were writing fanfiction nowadays. So I was actually kind of, I suppose, pleasantly surprised by the fun format of this. Somebody wrote it out as text chains, but I think that the best part about this story is, of course, the plot. So I'm gonna give you guys 10 seconds to guess what the story is about. All you get is that it's about opera. Ready? Here we go. You're wrong. You're all wrong. So this is called Clashing Harmonies, and this is the summary. Ray Johnson is an up-and-coming young soprano who has just been cast as the lead in a new opera composed by Benjamin Solo, who is known for being eccentric and difficult to work with. So yes, this is a Ray Ben Solo, also known as Kylo Ren, fan fiction in which Ben Solo is a composer and Ray is a soprano, and that's what this is about. And it's written as text messages. The First Order Opera Company is sorry, I'll try that again. The First Order Opera Company is premiering Ben Solo's new opera called Hades and Persephone. And it is starring Ray Johnson, apparently, because she doesn't have a last name in the movie, so they just had to make one up. Finn Storm Pilot, the tenor, and Poe Dameron, the baritone. Rose is also in this. She's the pianist. So that's fun. So Hux is the music director of the First Order Opera Company. And so Ray and Rose and the other cast members are feeling that Ben Solo is being mean. He's being not a very good director and composer. And so Ray decides to text the music director about their concerns. I was wondering if I could talk to you regarding some concerns I have about Ben Solo. Sure, what's going on? Myself and some other cast members feel he's been professional. I don't feel like he treats the cast with respect. He had Rose and I working on my aria for hours yesterday, and now I feel like I'm losing my voice. Which, like, in a real situation, we would know to mark, which is a term here used in rehearsal to not sing full out every single time. So if a conductor were making you sing full out for a few hours, that'd be pretty intense. Hux says, I'll speak to Mr. Solo about this. However, we should bear in mind that Mr. Solo is an incredible talent, and we're extremely fortunate he's chosen to premiere his opera at First Order, when he could have easily gone to the Met or something. And then she sends a screenshot to her friends, and they all hate him, and they go, oh my god, and then Rose says, is he for real right now? I can't. Classic text talk. And then Hux gives Ray Ben Solo's contact information. And now here comes probably the most cringy part of this entire story so far. This part is so cringy as an artist reading this to imagine saying what's about to happen here to your conductor and or the composer of the original piece you're premiering. Okay, here it is. You ready? Hi, this is Ray Johnson. Next text. I got your number from Hux. All undercase, by the way. She was so professional when texting Hux, and now we're texting the composer and director of this piece, and she's being really weird about it. I just want to talk to you about some concerns I have. I do not think you've been treating myself or the rest of the company with respect. I was very insulted when you said you thought I wasn't qualified to play Persephone. I do not appreciate the way you talked down to me and the rest of the cast, and honestly, everyone involved in the production. I don't know if people have just let you get away with this in the past because you're the famed composer Benjamin Solo, or whatever, but I do not tolerate being disrespected. I may be young, but I've worked extremely hard to get to where I am, and just because you're some hotshot composer from Juilliard doesn't mean you can treat me or anyone else like shit. So, like, that just makes the artist in me, like curl up. Oh, God. Yeah. So Ben Solo texts her back. This is what he says. Hello, Miss Johnson. Separate text. I'm sorry if you were offended, but my job is to compose music and put on a production that will mean something to people, and I'm simply trying to do my job. Frankly, I find this message a little unprofessional. Yeah, yes. I will admit, I was initially trepidatious about your age and inexperience, because this particular character is especially close to my heart. I couldn't imagine someone so young could perform the role. They spelled roll like a dinner roll. That's fun. I couldn't imagine someone so young could perform the role with the depth and passion it deserves, but the moment I heard you sing, I realized I'd been sorely mistaken. Frankly, I don't think I heard such a beautiful, powerful voice in my life. And now I can't possibly imagine anyone else in this role. You have raw talent, Miss Johnson, but you are undisciplined and unused to be challenged. If anyone else were in this role, I would not have pushed them quite so hard with that first aria. You're very good, but you have potential to be great. Maria Callas great, even. But you need a teacher, and I'd be willing to work with you. So anyway, they go on, and obviously he ends up teaching her, because this is just Phantom of the Opera, just with Ray and Ben. And then they do an opera, and it's really good at the end. I actually didn't get so far. I got a little further than this and then I had to stop. I don't know. I feel like that was a lot of stuff I can't unread now. And I am really amazed by the effort that went into all of that. Those 3 stories that I read were thousands of words, and also pages of work in the case of the screenshot text one. So I'm really, in that way, I'm really impressed, but I'm also really upset by what I had to read today. And it reminds me of where I started with all of this, where it was just Phantom of the Opera fanfic all the way down. So I'm amazed and proud of the internet for giving us the stuff that we read today. That's still classical music, but it's not just Phantom of the Opera. So to end today, here's Phantom of the Opera, but they're in high school. Eric closed his eyes and gulped. Philippe was bound to come up at some point. Have you mentioned it to him, he asked. No, but I bet he'd like it. He likes cool, fun stuff like that. He's always down for anything. Oh, he's definitely down for anything, all right, Eric thought, but bit his tongue. I was thinking we could get some fast food and drive to the park and eat on the roof of my car. Sound fun, said Christine. It seems like our default activity. Yeah, it is, Christine laughed. Let's get Wendy's.